I'll go answer that.
Okay, everybody.
CTA advises against that, remember? Don't put it on your social media.
Cause the first thing he said was, is that bees?
He was hopeful.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. We're gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is 5:30. We will have two members absent today, Mr. Castaneda and Mr. Barrios. And do we have any comments for closed session?
No closed session.
Fantastic. And a motion to go into closed.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are in closed session. Thank you for this. I needed this.
Righty.
Perfect. Okay, can I get a motion to return to regular session?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We do have one item to report out. The action was taken, bid deficiency. In closed session, the Board of Education took action on payment approval of West Trucks International for the purchase of 3 above-ground heavy vehicle and white fleet mechanic lifts, 8 air floor jacks, and jack stands for a total of $180,000 as a temporary replacement for aged in-ground lifts that could not be repaired and deemed a safety hazard. We have a 3-0 majority on that, and it's been passed. And Heather, I have this for you when you're after the meeting. Okay. All right, so we have 2 members absent today, Mr. Barrios and Mr. Castaneda. And let's go to Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Merrill, would you be so kind?
My pleasure,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Yes, thank you. Please stand, place your right hand over your heart, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, we have approval of the agenda. As it sits, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 4.1, Outstanding Community Service, Culinary Arts.
Let's go ahead and introduce Chef Basil, see. Standing. Welcome.
I would put on my chef hat, but I was so excited to see her, I left my chef coat. And you can't wear the hat without the coat. First of all, my name is Chef Basil, and this is my wife, Lisette Angulo. And we want to present to Miss Kelly. I'm gonna let my wife kind of tell you the story, then I'm gonna tell you the story.
Good evening. I am the president of Ladies TKO, which we are the ones that actually sponsored what we did. So in 2019, Torona was hit with an earthquake. It was the first humanitarian effort, high desert wide. And it wasn't just Torona. Shortly after that, it was Hurricane Catherine, and then there was another one in Pico Rivera. So what we did, Ladies TKO, we actually became the disaster team, the rescue relief disaster team. It is chefs across statewide, and we had neighbors here, city neighbors, that actually donated food for Torona. Every year, Ladies TKO would do a Thanksgiving dinner. And this year, that year of 2019, we found out there was a lot of veterans there. So when we went there to deliver food and water when they opened up the road, as a matter of fact, we have a person here that actually went with us that day, and it's Mayor Pro Tem Leslie Irving.
Come on up, Leslie.
And so we took food down there. It was devastating to see houses in the schools. It was horrible. The pathways, the sidewalks are all lifted up. It was just really bad. So I told Basil, he has a nonprofit, Broken Soldiers. So we had decided, instead of doing a Thanksgiving dinner where we do it just for veterans only, we decided to go to Torona. Torona has over 1,500 residents. So we had over 100 and something turkeys, and we thought, how can we do this? We asked ACF chefs, and then Basil actually met Chef Kelly. And with that, the students, your students,
It is kind of touching because I'm a former homeless Army veteran on the streets. We had nothing that year. Chef Kelly cooked all the turkeys. Not only did she cook them with her students, but then we had to truck them up to Torona and there were no roads to get in. And so we had called in some other people to help us. We have a policy, being Army, you either fly in, you parachute, or you hump it. Well, we humped it, and that's why I'm so grateful for Leslie. And so those kids really, really did a hellified job. And the people of Toronto were just so thankful that they did that. But Chef Kelly, she is, you know, other than myself, she's one of the best chefs in the world. You know, but I'm gonna let my wife finish.
So during that time, we were getting ready to give a certificate in 2019, but we had other disasters that we were taking care of. So then, of course, in 2020, we had COVID. So tonight we come to give her a certificate. It reads, for their successful participation in the town of Toronto Thanksgiving dinner in November, I don't have my glasses on, in 2019 with Ladies TKO. The humanitarian disaster response from Victor Valley Union High School in assisting their neighboring high desert city has been recognized throughout the state of California and the American Culinary Association. We thank you.
All right.
And we have one more thing. Next May, we are doing our probably 1,000 people. Don't go nowhere. We're going to do our gala again at the county fair, probably about 1,000 people. I'm going to request her to bring back, and I'm going to help her, even if we have to pay for it, all those students from 219. I want to salute and honor every student that was, you know, they're probably in their third year of college right now, I believe. But hopefully she can track them, we'll bring them in, and we're gonna salute them publicly along with the chef, and along with the school itself, because there are schools around the world that kind of do what we do, but there has been no other school, according to the ACF, American Culinary Federation, that has done what this school has done. And the teachers union are great too. You guys are great over there. In fact, I'm gonna cook a personal meal, a French meal for y'all, because I'm labor too. So we just want to say thank you, Mr. President,
Thank you.
and to our leader, Ms. Du. And we just want to thank Heather for calling us. And
Fantastic. And then, Chris, would you be willing to come over and take a picture real quick?
Yes,
Thank you so much.
come over. Come over and take a picture in front here. There's that super. Come around. Let's do. But step over.
I could probably do it.
We'll get the young man to do it. Gosh, I have my tennis shoes on. There you go. We're getting our
So you're doing, okay, that's good, all right. Do me a favor, look at me first, okay? And then she's got two phones there, so, okay, let's get this one, okay, I'm good. Your turn.
is anybody here military?
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one. Thank you so much. I know.
You don't take off.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you so
Good, how are you?
much. Appreciate it. Nice seeing you guys. Yeah, that's what you were saying on that? Yeah. It's- Yes.
Real quick, don't get here. So, real quick, on behalf of the board, we'd also like to present you with the district challenge coin for excellence and all the work that you've done.
She is super.
Well, I don't think it's.
I call her sister.
Yeah. She's great. I've
I
had,
know.
Okay, everybody, so let's go ahead and move on to public comment. Mr. Coles, would you be so kind to read the
If you wish to address the board on any topic, including any item on the agenda, please submit your comments to the board president by completing a request to address the board card prior to the meeting and submitting it to the assistant to the superintendent. The president will recognize those who desire to speak either during the public comment section of the agenda or before the particular agenda item. Each speaker should move quickly to the microphone and announce your name before beginning your presentation. Meetings are taped for later transcription. Each speaker is allocated a maximum of 3 minutes. The president may choose to limit each topic to 10, no more than 20 minutes, if substantial numbers of people wish to address the board on one topic. Testimony should be brief and to the point. Speakers should not repeat testimony already presented. Board action may not legally be taken on any item not specifically listed on the agenda. The board may ask that such items be placed on the next agenda for consideration. Testimony is not protected from damage claims or slander. Public charges or allegations may result in legal action being brought by those individuals. The board values constructive community comments and suggestions. It welcomes your participation in the democratic process.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, sir. All right, we're actually going to adjust here for just a moment. We're going to invite University Prep's Kiara and Nicole up to the podium first, our student speakers. We didn't have you on the agenda tonight, but you know what? That's okay. We're going to let you go ahead
love
and
you anyway.
we're going to allow you to come on up anyways.
Okay, so, sorry.
That's okay.
Good evening. My name is Kiara, and this is Nicole Mukau, and we are here to represent University Preparatory. We would like to share with you some of our upcoming events, and each of these events include a food drive that's actually occurring this week from November 1st to November 10th. We also have a fall festival, which is this Friday, from 4:30 to 7:30 at our school. We also have a Jean Day that's sponsored by our class of 2024. That's going to be on November 18th. And we also have a fall play, November 30th to December 2nd, from 6 to 8 p.m. at our school. That's it.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and move into public comment. We're going to start with Jared. You are up first.
Hey, Jared.
Yay!
He's hanging on to us.
Good evening, board members, cabinet, superintendent, students, families, and staff of the Victor Valley Union High School District. My name is Jared Nichols. I am the lead negotiator for VVTA. I'm very excited that we were finally able to begin negotiations last week for the 22-23 reopeners. Although both parties have reopened only a few articles, it's my hope that we can quickly and fairly conclude negotiations for the year. I want to wish Dr. Rubalcaba the best of luck in his endeavors. I also wanted to thank Dr. Yee and Mr. Lloyd for taking the time to meet with Mike and myself to address some of the questions that we had about Goodwill and the Victor Valley Virtual Academy. I would also like to thank Mr. Coles for his transparency and willingness to meet with VVTA and discuss the budget information. We're hopeful that this willingness will translate to a quick and fair settlement for us. VVTA looks forward to resuming negotiations with the district soon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jared. Appreciate it. Okay, this one is going to be Laverne. I think that's beautiful handwriting, by the way.
Can't pronounce my last name.
No, I can't. I wasn't going to try.
That's okay. You
But
will be the first.
that is very pretty
You would-
handwriting.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
My sixth grade teacher.
There
Gets
you
full
go.
responsibility for my handwriting. Okay? He would not let me divert from it.
There you go.
Mr. Daniels. Thank you all for having me, Dr. Coles, the school board, family, and friends. I'm here tonight on behalf of the NAACP, and we're specifically talking about the OCR report. And we have concerns. One is the memorandums for schools. That was supposed to be sent out to all the parents in the schools of the school district. There was to be meetings to be conducted to help us gather information to see how we can avoid this type of event happening in the future. As a grandparent of a school of Lakeview Leadership Academy, 2 students, I have not received anything. I would like the community to be aware of it. We would like the community to be aware of it. We would like to be at the table to discuss those concerns. Now on to the second one, and that is compensatory education. That would be the students that were expelled or expunged or excluded or kicked out of school during this OCR report time. Where are they? What have we done to correct the issues? According to this report, that should have been done by October 15th. We would just like to know where it is and how we can come to the table and discuss it. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you so much. Mr. Coles will be in touch with,
Yeah.
I'm sure. in the future. All right, thank you. Okay, VVTA.
Hello, board. My name is Mike Mayo. I'm Victor Valley Teachers Association president, and our membership has grown to about 484 members, which is pretty nice. I first want to share my condolences to especially a student that we had over at Silverado High School. You may have heard about this, and his name is Richard Reed, and I couldn't imagine losing a child. This person, he was a son, a grandson, a nephew, a cousin, and I couldn't imagine that loss. And this is just one of the many losses that we've had recently, on top of many accidents that that our staff members have gone through, other students have gone through, and the last few weeks have been really rough. I was talking to one of the teachers today, a newer teacher that we have who's in our English department, and she came up to me, and I could tell that she was really stressed out. And it wasn't stressed out over her professional duties. She was more stressed out about the fact that she has one of the brothers of Richard in her class, and she hasn't seen him, and so she has concerns. And so that's just one of the things that is going around in the district. And so I'm hoping that at least with all the many staff members, students, and all the family members who are affected, I'm hoping that they can find some relief soon. I want to say happy farewell to Dr. Rubacaba. It has been an interesting trip. We have not always agreed, absolutely, and he, I'm sure, would at least agree with that. And so, but I will say this. When it's come down to disagreements, at least we can still usually say, at least even though we're trying to get to the same objective, the objective is always towards the students. And so I will say that. And so continue to take things in stride, because any road that you take is going to be bumpy. And I hope that your experience here is going to help kind of inform you as to what you can do as a superintendent over at Los Nietos. All right. I'm doing a shout out for Victor Valley Animal Protective Leave. If you want to go ahead and pass those out, Jennifer. Victor Valley Teachers Association has some history that's doing community projects in Victorville. Sometimes it's like a community cleanup or things like that. And that's Victorville City hosted. What's nice about Victor Valley Animal Protective Leave is that they're serving all of the same service areas that we have for our students, Victorville and Adelanto. Right now, we are hoping CSEA and the district will help us in serving the needs of animals through Victor Valley Animal Protective League. You see, I also stuck, it's a really simple QR code to make a donation if you want to very quickly. The QR codes are great because you can just take a shot of it very, very fast. You can just make a donation. And if you do that under Victor Valley Teachers Association, that's great because it indicates that that's how much money our association was trying to build up for VVAPL. VVAPL is a nonprofit organization. It was established back in the 1950s. It takes in surrendered animals, strays, animals that have been abused. And their site indicates themselves as their top priority being that it will always be for the welfare of animals as they strive to continue making a difference one life at a time. So please take note of the flyers, and like I said, there is a QR code there. And the idea of trying to change one life at a time, that includes in the classrooms, that includes with people with whom we work, and kind of looking at each of those as like a personal responsibility that we have to each person that we come in contact, including the parents of the district and anybody else. All right, now on to some issues. Junior high and middle school student numbers. I want to congratulate Hook Junior High School. They have broken through the 1,000 student mark, so congratulations to them. That's nice. But their 7th grade population is absolutely outstanding. It's really large. It's just ballooned. And so something's got to be done there. We have some PE teachers that are over 60 in some of their classes. We have other ones who are, so junior high numbers, I remember they're teaching 7 periods. and they're teaching at higher than what our average high school numbers are for some of them. And this is mostly for 7th grade. 8th grade, it's a little bit easier, but 7th grade is really pretty heavy, which means if it's heavy in 7th grade, we have them next year, it's going to be heavy on 8th grade next year. All right, and then you combine this with Lakeview Leadership Academy 7th and 8th grade population, and that's going to be something that we're going to have to address, not just current overflow, those kinds of issues, but moving forward, how are we going to address such a large 7th, 8th grade population, and we have to have room for those students somewhere. And negotiations, I know Jared was up here earlier, and he already addressed it, but VVTA does understand that there will be some transition time that's necessary because I'm sure you're looking for a very practical, union-loving assistant superintendent of human resources. So I know that's going to take time, but I'm sure you can do it. And I appreciate Mr. Coles has shared with me that negotiations are still going to continue, regardless, which is nice. It would be great if we can get it done this year. Then we have, this is where I really do feel I have to say this because this is something that is actually precedent setting through a PERB decision. Now there's a PERB decision on June 14th, 2022. Now PERB, it stands for Public Employment Relations Board, for anybody that's unclear. It has published a decision in the case of Victor Valley Teachers Association against Victor Valley Union High School District. In short, VVTA won on all accounts. And not only that, this PERB decision, like I said, sets a legal precedent for all unions. So that means moving forward, it is possible that we actually get, they actually start to refer to our case as something that is important in regards to, well, I'll let Kathy just explain that. Yeah, she'll explain it to you. She was here. All right, VVTA filed a complaint against VVUHSD for interfering with Educational Employment Relations Act rights during a deposition of then VVTA President Kathy Montague-Hansen. I now use some of our VVTA time to invite former VVTA President Kathy Montague-Hansen to speak regarding this issue only after we have other former VVTA President Anita Tucker doing it too, because technically this was going on during all three of our presidencies. So, Kathy, it's all yours. I'm sorry, Anita, it's all yours.
I know, just when you thought it was safe to go to a board meeting, she's back. Good evening, Board President Garcia, esteemed board members, Superintendent Coles, Executive Cabinet, students, educators, and community. I'm Anita Tucker, VVTA President Emeritus. Thank you, Mike Mayo, for allowing me to express my thoughts on the recent decision by the Public Employment Relations Board in favor of the unfair labor practice filed by VVTA with regard to the interference by Victor Valley Union High School District of the union president's protected communications. VVTA did win the case, although the district filed an appeal. They recently withdrew it before their opening brief was to be filed. As a former president whose members were also subjected to give up much of their valuable time with their students to testify in matters relating to this case, and to be able to tell our members that their concerns and questions will remain confidential as a result of this precedent-setting decision, I am relieved and happy. However, how much time and money was expended by the district on fighting this case, which they ended up dropping anyway? If we really say we're putting students first, why are we not putting our time and money to benefit them? As a union president, I value and respect our teachers and counselors, and I hope as we go forward together, the district will also value our union and respect our members. And I'd like to introduce Kathy.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Hansen, VVTA President Emeritus. Back a few. And she says that you thought it was safe to come back in the water. It's really not now because I'm here. Anyway, back in May of 2020, I was asked to be involved in a deposition regarding some teacher discipline. And this deposition was hours long, 4 to 5 hours. And basically they were asking for information regarding private communications between myself and various VVTA members, including the teacher that was being disciplined. This was a difficult ordeal to go to because these communications are necessary for teachers and certificated staff to feel like they can go to their president with concerns and thoughts and ask for direction and counsel on what they should do. Now, back in the mid-1800s, labor unions began to form, and those labor unions were set up to protect the rights of employees. That included safety, hours of employment, wages, organization, but it also included the communications between the hierarchy of the association and the members. During this time, I was compelled, demanded, or forced, pick a word, to turn over my personal notes of my communications and also to disclose the things that union members had said to me. And so when I went into this, I was a good girl and did exactly what my lawyer said, which was keep your mouth shut. And so when I was asked a question, I waited until my lawyer would object based on the PERB decision that was previously made and the EERA laws. And then I was told, then I have to answer the question, which I did. But what this does, this decision, is it reiterates the rights of personal union conversations between members and their president or executive board to protect the rights of those members. A lot of those times, those members come to the president with questions and concern, then they just need direction and help. And to be forced to turn that all over is rude and unprofessional. The members then don't distrust their leadership and won't bring issues forward that need to be resolved. So this decision is precedent-setting for the state of California that protects the rights of union communications between the presidents and its members. I'm very happy that we have settled this once and for all, that it has been upheld by the PERB board, and that we can move forward with this decision at this time. Thank you.
Almost done, I promise. Okay. I will now read the official order from PERB. And the reason why I do is I do want to get it in minutes that we are making sure that you're following through with what it has said in its order. So, A, cease and desist from 1, unlawfully interrogating union leaders about union activities and their communications with bargaining unit members. 2, interfering with the right of the association to represent bargaining unit employees. 3, interfering with the right of bargaining unit employees to be represented by the association. And B, take the following affirmative actions to effectuate the policies of the Act. 1, pay the association 4 hours of attorney fees. 2, within 10 work days following the date this decision is no longer subject to appeal, post at all work locations where notices to district employees and the bargaining unit represented by the association are customarily posted copies of the notice attached hereto as an appendix. The notice must be signed by an authorized agent of the district indicating that it will comply with the terms of this order. Such posting shall be maintained for a period of 30 consecutive workdays. In addition to physical posting of paper notices, the notice shall be posted by electronic message, internet site, and other electronic means customarily used by the district to communicate with employees in the bargaining unit represented by the association. Reasonable steps shall be taken to ensure that the notice is not reduced in size, altered, defaced, or covered with any other material. 3, within 30 workdays after this decision is no longer subject to appeal, notify the PERB General Counsel or designee in writing of the steps taken to comply with the terms of this order. Continue to report in writing to the General Counsel or designee periodically thereafter as directed. All reports regarding compliance with this order shall be served concurrently on the association. All right, and there's only one more thing I have to leave you with. I had some, I left something there for you, Mr. Coles, and something for Dr. Yee in regards to Goodwill Education independent study numbers. So if you could please take a look at that, because we're going to have to discuss some things that are on there because I think there might be some issues. All right, other than that, everybody else, have a very good night.
Thank you so much. Okay, CSEA. Nobody tonight? Okay,
Well,
nobody tonight.
I just want to comment that precedent is very important. It affects all of our employees, classified, certificated, not just in the VVTA, across the whole state. And personally, in my position, the other hat I wear, I thank you very much. And I'm saddened that you went through that, Kathy and Anita. I know it was horrible, and it was on behalf of a member, but I appreciate that you did it for all of us. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go 7.1, approval of consent agenda items. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Let's go to 8.1. Before we do that, hold on. I'm going to make a motion to make an amendment to the certificated personnel report before we open it up. It's going to have Dr. Rubalcava's effective date, the 13th. Perfect. I probably should have said the item. I apologize. But we all know.
Item 2A.
So, okay. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 8.2, classified personnel.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.3,
So moved. Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
8.4,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor? Oh, just kidding.
It mentioned that the existing terminals will go to another site. Do we know which site?
Not yet, they're still determining
We're
it, but
just-
they will, yes.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
8.5,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
8.6,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.7,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. 9.1, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we got 10.1, conference request, 10.2, educational study trips. No questions, okay? Let's go to business service division.
Wow, that was so fast. I'm not sure I'm on the
I
same
know we're all
page.
shuffling through.
Okay. Well, currently this week, we are working with our audit team. They have been on site, our independent auditors, looking at our records for 2021-22. So that's kept our staff very, very busy. In addition, we have issued the retroactive pay for both classified and certificated. Classified was on the 31st, and of course certificated was on the 1st, so I think everybody's, we haven't heard any complaints across the board. I want to take the opportunity to say a couple words about our transportation department. Just amazing. We have a pretty amazing crew all the way around. But just to show you just how great that department is running. Up and down the state, you may already have heard how difficult it is to get bus drivers. And yet, we had 4 positions open. Not only did we fill our 61 drivers, in which many districts can't even say that, but we had 4 positions open. We had 16 viable candidates, and we made a selection of the top 4, and we could have taken many more. And I say hats off to Mr. Tiger and his crew for really running a great shop over there. They've done a fantastic job, and actually people want to come here. Where other districts are having a hard time getting drivers, we are not at all. We could take more. So thank you, Mr. Tiger and crew, for all you do. And then next and lastly, I want to report out, and of course we talked about the free and reduced numbers and how that affects the district's finances and all of the grants that go to schools, the federal grants, all of our E-rate funding and so on. Our latest numbers from technology show that we are at 72.61, still below what we were last year at just over 86%. The good news is the state of California, the deadline was October 31st, but that has been a last-minute decision by CDE to extend that deadline 1 more month, which tells me that statewide, folks are having a hard time getting these forms in, especially due to universal meals. So I know Dave and team and Mike over in Student Services, everybody, all the principals are really trying very hard to get these numbers up. And I can tell you that it is, it's helping and it's meaningful, and we need to keep pushing because our kids deserve every single one of those dollars coming into the classroom. So thank you everyone for your efforts, and please continue all the way to the 30th of November. I also want to report to you that, you know, unlike many districts up and down the state, our district is growing a little bit. I think you heard some of that this evening with our 7th grade class. We have, as of just this week, 11,374 kids, and just, you know, that's a great accomplishment. So with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. R.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
In past years, we offered an incentive for the sites that reached a certain percentage of the free and reduced applications. Now it's a different application, but can we continue to offer an incentive per site to?
Yeah, we've looked into it. You know, the notable thing is even about that, we're at 72% roughly those qualified, but we're at 82% people who filled it out. So, I mean, you can, if we grew, you know, another 10% and get that up there, you know, kind of what we discussed is 70, if we get to 75%, it is a loss still than what we currently have. But there's still a pretty 10% margin of those filling it out and those
So
who
what are
qualify.
we right now, 82?
We're at 82 completion rate.
Right.
And some schools are nearing 100%.
Really?
Yeah, 100% of the families have filled it out. So that's going to be our continued push. We worked with the principals on incentives in terms of let's circle back with it so they're meaningful to them and to the teachers. And I also want to just thank VVTA to stepping in and CSEA, you know, saying, hey, we're into this and we've authorized, you know, overtime and extra duty for everybody. And it's really, it's a collective effort that's given us a rallying point because there is still 18% families out there that we still need to capture to at least get the application in to see where we qualify from, so.
Well, we have a high unduplicated count. We
We-
just
we
need to
do.
have the documentation.
We do.
It's worth a lot of money for our students.
Well, we built 3 schools
Yeah.
behind that.
It is a significant amount of money, but we're also very aware that the poverty level numbers have also gone up. So that's also impacting this. The universal meals
Right.
legislation has impacted this.
Exactly.
But superintendent is right. I mean, you know, we keep pushing these numbers, you know, as far as we can push, and at some point, you know, we get diminished returns on that. So we are facing the fact that with inflation, that those markers have moved up on a federal poverty level. And so even some of those families that we had in the group last year, even though they've turned in some of the forms, will not meet that poverty level marker. So I'm hoping that there'll be legislation in Sacramento to make some corrections for school districts,
that's
because
some
our
of the things we
funding
need to do.
is kind of hooked to this, and it really shouldn't impact school districts in this way, Debbie's opinion, but you know, we're doing everything we can to serve these kids, and those extra dollars are really for those intentional services around kids, and that's what we really need to focus on, not just getting the numbers, but really what these dollars are really marked for,
Well,
for those
One of the
interventions.
things that was done was school boards got together and made sure that we let the governor and everybody know that we need more time. And so they did recommend more time.
More time and a different model.
Right.
And now we need a different model. So we
Yes,
got more time.
something different,
And
right.
now we need a different model.
Right.
Well, and here's the thing that's being pushed, you know, from administrators right now regarding this topic, is they already know the numbers. It's
Right.
federal taxes. It's almost like we're duplicating what they already know about the people in the area. And so it really is a matter of the government saying, we actually already know your families in the situation. Why are we having them fill out applications when they
It
actually?
doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
No.
So it is
And so
there is a
we
push.
tried to get that where we didn't have to do that, but they insist on doing this, filling out all these forms, and it's just not right, but.
And now it's kind of a false thing, because they don't need the form to get a meal, right?
Right.
It's
Exactly.
universal meals.
Exactly.
So why do we even need the forms? You know, so.
I don't know.
much discussion to
Well,
have.
that's something we'll discuss, we'll
Yeah,
mention it.
I'm sure. Thank you, and thank you for your question.
Fantastic, thank you so much. Ed Services, not tonight, I'm assuming. Let's go with Human Resources.
So I also want to extend my condolences to the student that we lost at Silverado, to the family, to the school site. But as Mike mentioned, a lot of our staff members have had accidents, and it has a ripple effect on everyone. So just, want to remind everyone, take advantage of the rich benefits that the district offers. Take care of self so that we can continue to take care of students. I want to thank the board, superintendent, for its confidence in me these past little over 4 years that I have served the community. I want to thank, VVTA and CSCA, all of our employees, our students and families for allowing me to serve. It truly has been an honor. This is a wonderful community, a wonderful school district, and we do great things for students, every day and for the entire community. I especially want to thank my team HR. They really have touched my heart. It's been an honor to serve side by side with them. They're an amazing group of people. And because of these past a little over 4 years, I can with confidence say that I'm a better leader and I'm a better person. All of the experiences that I've had, whether it's really positive celebrations of students or some very challenging times like a pandemic, we've walked away better and stronger. So VVUHSD will always have a special place in my heart. Tonight's my last board meeting, so thank you very much for this opportunity. I wish everyone well. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Romero. Okay, legislation.
Is that page we have?
We have that page, and we're waiting for the
Nothing
election.
pertinent, right? It's all the same stuff. Okay,
We're pushing music and art and band and
absolutely.
good stuff.
Mr. Barrios, you got anything to say? Oh, just kidding. He might call in, you never know, Doubt it, though.
Knowing him, he probably
would, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He
So-
probably know exactly what we were doing.
Exactly.
He's probably watching you.
So, I know, right? So Castaneda's not here. Ms. Dew, did you have anything you'd like to say real quick?
I just feel sad about our student. Condolences to the family concerning the student and all of our staff that are actually having a lot of problems as well. And I want to congratulate you on your job.
Thank you.
And hope that you do very well. How many students you have there now?
About 1,400, three
About
elementary,
1,400.
one middle school.
And it's down in Whittier, right?
In the yes,
Yeah.
Whittier, Santa Fe Springs area in LA County.
Yeah.
Going the opposite way now.
Well,
Opposite
thank
way.
you very much for being with us here, and feel free to come back anytime that you feel and visit,
Fantastic.
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I guess our CIF group, all of our teams are playing. One of them is playing tonight, isn't it?
Even Victor snuck into playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Victor Valley High School.
And weird
I
things
am
have
excited,
happened,
Oh,
And
yeah.
Atalanto.
Yeah.
Atalanto is
real
playing
interesting.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to give Casino a little bit of,
They're all in the CIF playoffs.
Oh, bug him about it.
I will.
Bug him about it.
So-
3-7. He must have knew somebody at CIF, right?
Yeah, it must be. But anyway, I hope they do well as well. And I hope we get to the point where we don't have to read about anybody else in the paper.
Absolutely.
Particularly our students. It really saddens me to hear that anything happens to any of our students. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Dew. Okay, Ms. Edmondson.
Well, my condolences to the Reed family. I know that you've extended them on behalf of the board, but let us know how else we can help. I'd appreciate that. The OCR report, you've kept us informed, and if you can make sure that you have a chance to meet with our community members and let them know what we need to do to make sure the notifications are sent out, or if they've already been sent out, if they have been publicly displayed, or whatever we need to do. I know that we're eager to make sure that we accept what we received and move on and improve. Thank you for coming. We appreciate that.
Fantastic.
Romero,
Oh,
thank
sorry.
you for.
You guys have a long pause and I keep going.
I needed a breath. Romero, thank you for your work. It was trying times, The pandemic is something we hope we never have to revisit, but thank you. You were invested 100%. I appreciate the time that you gave to our students, our families, our employees. Thank you so much. And then, Mr. Williford, thank you so much for these pumpkins. You may know that they made pumpkins for many of us. I love the one that you got, Patrick, the
I know.
perch. And,
This is
it's cool. They really are quite sweet. So I wanted to thank for our pumpkins, and mine says peace, love, unity, respect, and I'll share that with my fourth graders. We'll have a lively discussion tomorrow about what those things mean and how we can exhibit them every day with our other classmates. So thank you very much, and thank you all for coming out on this cold, blistery night. Now I'm done.
Okay, just making sure. All right, and just to echo what everybody else is saying, the Hawk family, the whole school and football team, condolences to everybody involved. Never good news when we lose a student, for sure. Dr. R, hey man, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for all your service that you've provided for us. The pandemic was crazy, but we did get through it together. And wish you very well. And as we say, we will meet again, I'm sure.
Yes, we will.
Paths will cross again. Okay, Mr. Singer.
Okay, a few things. Gonna make it quick though. Our football team did make the playoffs, and as surprising as a 1-3 record going into CIF is, they work, and trust me, it is more than I have ever seen our football team work. I'd like to congratulate our coaches, our seniors, and all of our players on the team. They have pushed, and even though their record doesn't show as much as they've worked, they definitely deserve some of what they have, the results that they have gotten. Career Day. Victor just did their third consecutive annual total, I don't remember the word, third career day of some sort, and it was amazing. We had thousands of different careers. We had people talking like my cousin is a piercer at Tattoo Image. She came and talked. One of my dad's best friends is the CTE director at VVC. He came and talked about all kinds of stuff. We had paramedics, we had nurses, we had engineers, everything. It was great. We got a great experience, and I still had to go to calculus.
Didn't get out of that.
Power and water. I'm gonna bring it up as I'm assuming all of you have heard already. It's not fun knowing that as easily as it has happened twice, I can either be sent home or almost sent home from school because of utility issues. Now I love my school. I will bleed green and white till probably the day I die. But again, it takes that factor of not necessarily pride, but safeness. I don't feel necessarily comfortable if I'm somewhere where it can just shut down that quickly and easily. And I say that on behalf of a lot of people because I was in fourth period and a lunch, and then a lunch of fourth period and fifth period, where students voice their concerns. I would like to formally invite everybody in the room and on the board to my scrimmage tomorrow. You better bundle up because it's going to be cold, but it's right there on Victor's baseball field. Come, it's going to be great.
What time?
It starts at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Pumpkin decorator. I would like to formally apologize to Mr. Castaneda because I will be switching pumpkins. I love this one, but I know a lot of people that suffer from the mental illnesses on that pumpkin. I myself have ADHD, a lot of it. So I will be.
You can't switch. He already knows about it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Isn't there take a picture of
You
it?
can take. I did. You can
And
take
you sent
pictures.
it to him.
I did.
I might have to
my
email him about that one. I might have to email him about
That's
that
terrible.
one. I do want to meet the person that made that pumpkin though.
That is
so
pretty
If you email Mr. Williford, he'll let you know
Okay,
because he
so if
wrote
somebody
me back tonight.
Okay, because I love that pumpkin.
It's beautiful.
So, yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
Mr. He's not here right now, so Mr.
Yeah.
Wilford, if
It
you
really,
just-
they all are beautiful. That one has a lot of detail.
Yeah. Okay. And then again to echo the board, I have experienced loss like I never thought I would in high school, and I can't imagine what the students and the football players and the family of Richard Reed are going through right now. As a teammate of multiple people, as a teammate of somebody who lost the battle, as you can say, it's not a great feeling, and I send my condolences to his family, football team. If you can let them know that not only the board, but Victor, ASB, me, myself, anything we can do. I understand exactly how they feel, and I know it's not a great feeling. So anything I can do, if you let them know that I can do it, I would be great. Dr. RR, head of HR, whatever you want to call it. Thank you for the short amount of time that I've known you. It's been great. Now, once you go, take the Dodger stuff and take it with you.
We'll have that conversation, don't worry. We'll have that
Yeah,
conversation.
okay.
Yeah,
You've done
you
a-
can leave the Dodger stuff. It's good.
You've done a great job. From what I've heard from everybody in the crowd and on the board, you're just someone that's amazing to work with and an incredibly hard worker. So I'm glad that I've met you, and again, paths crossed again. So I'm glad to see you again. And then the NAACP, VVTA, and I'm gonna forget the other one.
CSCA?
There we go, CSCA. Thank you, all three of those groups. It's amazing as a student to hear what's actually going on so that I can spread information to not only parents of students, but students, because, you know, us knowing is the greatest power you have because there's the most of us. And I'm very glad that everything that was said today from the board and from the groups and from the individuals was about students. You guys all clearly want to better the students' experience, and for me, that's exciting. I love that all three of you, all four of the groups are willing to work together and with each other to better the experience for me, my little siblings, and my classmates, and all of that. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Coles?
As well, I'd like to extend my condolences to the Reed family and to the whole Hawks community. I know that those players tomorrow night are going to be playing much more than just for a W, and I look forward to being on the sidelines cheering them on. I'd like to thank Victor Valley High School for the career day today. It was phenomenal. It was over 80 people and really offered an opportunity for students. Mr. Campbell was there. Inspirational, working with students and just kind of giving a glimpse of what can be post-high school. And we really kind of keep needing to remind our students that this is just the beginning. This is not a destination. This is the beginning to so much more. And so thank you for being there, and to the other 79 professionals who spoke to the kids today.
Just step on the stage.
Also, I'd like to echo Ms. Dew. It's pretty awesome when all three comprehensive schools are in the playoffs, and it really is much more than just the football that takes place. It's really a true testament to certificated staff and management and CSEA and the community, because there's so much has to happen than just the 60 minutes that these kids are on the field for. So, Dr. R, we've been able to know each other for a long time, short amount of time here. I wish you the very best. And this is not your last board meeting, trust me. You have many of them to come, just in a different seat. I'm always a phone call away.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a great night, everybody.
There it is.